The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Hooligan Hefs. He's an artist that's really blown me away because the way that he's been able to mix the EDM thing with the hip hop thing, and it's just popped off massively. Now, for me, as someone that's been DJing in the R&B clubs for quite a while, with the exception of the Hilltop Hoods nosebleed section, I'd never had anyone request an Australian rap song in an R&B club before. And then Hooligan Hefs comes along with no effect. And now there's clubs that are playing, you know, him, 1-4, all sorts of Australian rap. What do you feel is attributed to his levels of success?
I think Hooligan Hefs, like you said, he really combines that style of, you know, street rap with the hard dance element. And I think those are the two big genres that are really predominant in West Sydney. Obviously, West Sydney long has been a hub for like we spoke about Cursor, you know, even going back Forte, even going back before that Death Wish Cast. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a big hub for kind of like the more underground hip hop stuff. And then you have, you know, hard dance. You know, DEFCON was out at Penrith for like, you know, years and years and years, and that's kind of like, you know, the global flagship hard dance festival. So I think that him being able to combine those two so seamlessly has really put, you know, Sydney on a national scale and kind of established like, this is our sound. You know what I mean? This is the West Sydney sound. I think he's done that so well. And I also think like he's a very charismatic rapper. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of like, like his hooks and stuff are really infectious, and the way his cadence and the way he says things is like very, very charismatic. And, you know, even his like, my favorite stuff he is personally is kind of like the more rap stuff like Paper Route or If You Know, You Know. But, you know, the dance stuff, like you said, when you're in a club, like it just goes off. And, you know, some other West Sydney artists have run with that sound too with a lot of success. But yeah, like he's one of the rare, you know, Australian artists that they now get, you know, requested in clubs. And, you know, it might be the biggest song of the night, to be honest. You know, I know 1-4 The Message, that was the biggest song at a couple of club nights I went to in Sydney when it first came out. And before that, even Minor Crook's Assumptions, that was like a huge club track. So yeah, that was also a turning point for me, what you're saying, when I started hearing people in Australian clubs reacting to Australian music. And I've really got to credit that to also One Day Sundays, the festivals that they used to have in Sydney, but they also had them in Brisbane and Melbourne, because those guys were like guys who were through and through from the Aussie rap scene, but they were out there mixing Hermitude with Future, you know what I mean? Or like Spit Syndicate with Waka Flocka Flame, you know? And they were really bridging that gap, because I feel like for a long time, if you're into Aussie hip hop and you liked club American rap, people were just a bit like, oh, you know what I mean? And it was a bit like, you know, like people look down on you a little bit, but, you know, to their credit, I really feel like, you know, One Day Sundays was the event that helped bridge a lot of that.
The lesson.
Oh yeah.